drug kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it's like you're on something.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's just
yeah, it
calm
really
within the calm.
looks like we are on. Yes, we are. We are on. Yeah, we're on YouTube. Let's see. Wait, let's just make sure. Yeah, we're YouTube. So I'm gonna let everybody know. We got a couple of people in the house. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going. I'm gonna engineer something here.
You're right. I'll just stay in my calm.
Oh, we can just keep talking. This is already going to be on the show anyway. All right, I'm going to go live on Facebook.
Yeah.
All right. And I should let them look at you. I don't want to see my ugly face. Hello, everybody. Give me a second. I don't see anybody in yet. Okay, here comes. Oh. Huh. Come on, baby. All right, there's a couple of people in the house. All right. So here we go again. This is our beautiful sister, Yvania, from down in Tasmania. You know who that guy is? And let's see, let me turn this back around. Okay, so again, Facebook hasn't allowed us, for whatever reason, we're not making any judgment or painting any devious pictures, just what the universe wants. So we can't get on Facebook. We tried with this show. So I'm currently in the Zoom room with Yvania. And you guys are welcome to come over. We're also on YouTube. Let me go ahead and post. Let me post the link on my page. You guys are welcome to join us. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. Copy, go to Facebook, and I'm going to put it on here, paste. Okay, there's the link. And it's on Facebook. Yeah, so you guys, if you want to come on over to YouTube, I just put the link on my personal page, and I'm going to share it to Soulogy. Thank you for your patience and understanding. And let me share it to SoulogyOneStudios page. Yeah, if you guys want to, you can come in on the original post. There's a Zoom link. You can come into the Zoom room, or you can go to YouTube, SoulogyOneStudios channel. All those letters are run together. Or you can go to my page, or Soulogy group, or the SoulogyOneStudios page. And the link is posted as of right now on all three. Okay. We appreciate everybody's patience and understanding. If you get to this on the replay, we're over in the YouTube, SoulogyOneStudios. The link's on all three of the pages, my personal page, SoulogyOneStudios Facebook page, and Soulogy group. And so me and Yvania are going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. See you in the YouTube or in the Zoom room. All right, I'm going to share this, so in case anybody sees it, share. All right, so that's shared. And, okay, share group. Got 5 people in the house here. Soulogy, then to Soulogy page. Okay. All right, let's see now. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to YouTube and we'll get started. Somebody else has a greeting. Lanier Holbeck, how you doing? Yeah, good to see you. All right, YouTube. Hello to you too, and everybody. Let's see. I've decided to quit saying that this is why we're going to have our own site and just allow the universe to lead the way, because I'm not going to tell the universe what to do anymore. It's ridiculous. Yeah. We got 17 people in the house on YouTube. Andrew Rawlings, Debbie Smart, Doreen Kenny, Slavika is here. Kathy Mason's in the house. Yeah, y'all could see me on Facebook, but we could not have this set up on Facebook. Facebook's not allowing us to, every other show, it seems, not allowing us to broadcast. If you're watching the YouTube, and if you look up where the likes and dislikes are, there's another icon next to it that says live chat. If you click that, you can actually watch the chat and you can also comment. So we'll work both here in the Zoom room with any comments or questions or whatever comes up, and also on the YouTube chat. Let's see, yeah, I did share this out. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay. All right, so let's see. We got another Kim Garcia, Dave Carlson, and Ruby Darlene Lambert. Yeah, I think it did go on to Facebook a couple of times and it lasted about 10 seconds. So that was just a little tease. 22 people in the house. If these shows resonate with you, please share. We would appreciate it. And thank you for your continued love and support and contribution so we could be allowed to keep and continue doing this. So, yeah, we were just having a pre-show or pre-technical difficulty conversation. And I don't know if you want to go back to where you started, or we start wherever you want to. Yvania, welcome back to Soul Speaks 5D. Thank you for sharing space with us and honoring us with your presence. I'm looking forward to seeing what your latest intel is and perspective and experience. It's good to have you.
Yeah, it's great to be here, and thank you to everyone who's sharing space with us.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about the purifying that's happening, and what I've noticed in the last few weeks through the heart-centered community that we're a part of, and how that purity flame, if you like, is running through everything, and it's doing so that the distortion can be noticed and dissolved, which is the whole point of feelings and breaking through to the other side, basically. So what seeing a lot of what was going on with points of views and things that were happening and all that, I just sort of stood back and watched and listened and tried not to, as much as I could, form an opinion on anything. But at the same time, it stirred up a lot of passion from within me. And so today, I could share a lot of intel about what I've been receiving, but I feel more guided to share my story through distortion into where I feel I am now. And so while I was listening to a lot of these beautiful women's stories, it was stirring up things that had happened to me. And when I came into this world, I was pretty much born into two worlds, one of extreme distortion and the other of a silent knowing that there was something else within me that was more real than what I was observing. And that distortion appeared to me in very physical manifestations. As a baby, the houses that I lived in were something like a scene out of Poltergeist. It was very real. And that distortion energy was definitely, I felt, coming at me. Some of those aspects were me and others were not me. So pretty much being thrown into that distortion, like from the age of 2, I was sexually abused until the age of 10. And some of those experiences were with members of a spiritual community. So I feel very passionate about the subject that's been thrown around in this topic myself, having come through that reality for myself. My belief is it's never okay to watch somebody that's being abused or that's disempowered themselves and someone else is disempowering them further. There's a line that we need to draw where we turn a blind eye and then we don't. So it's a fine line, but distortion in its real form is very noticeable. And I learnt that through my experience with sexual abuse. It has an energy, and that is the gift that I got out of all of my experiences with distortion and that sort of thing, is the energy is unmistakable. It's not heart-centered. You won't feel it in your heart. You won't feel expanded in distortion's presence. And all it requires is a noticing of. That is distortion. It sometimes doesn't need to be publicly announced. It just needs to be acknowledged and it falls away of its own accord. When you stand in your heart center and you know the love that you are, all you have to do is be in its presence and it will dissolve. So does that make sense, what I'm trying to say? Yeah, it's not okay to, look, you wouldn't let your child or anyone else go through that suffering. You'd stand up and say, hey, that's not okay. Move away. Make sure everyone's safe. You know, that's sort of like a duty of care to make sure that everyone's safe. At the same time, in this heart-centered community, there are no leaders, and there are a lot of people that are looking to a leader to call out things, to deliver them from something. And I think that is it needs to stop, really, because there's no hierarchy. And it doesn't really fall on anyone's shoulders to usher an entire group of people through to a new world, if you like. You know, it's an unrealistic expectation that we can place on other people to do what we need to do for ourselves. And discernment is something that we learn through this distorted reality.
Yeah, it's I think been a bit difficult, but it's becoming easier as the days go by to view everything as energy. Some of that energy looks like a human being and is. Some of it looks like a rock, and it's just as much is. You know, it's all energy. And, you know, I think it's like the chicken and the egg. Nobody here, anywhere on the earth, anywhere in our history, our brothers and sisters is to blame. Everybody played a role. We all know this story, and we can't understand that. But what we can understand is the energy that you went through as a young girl, the violation, the oppression, the trauma. At the end of the day, it was energy, and it may have looked really, really ugly and felt really, really ugly. You found the gold in it. And I think your reaction to it is epitomized by the balance that you represent in your energy at this point in your life. I mean, I'm just saying that on a personal level, because as the individual goes, so goes the collective. And what I know, I was like you, in the experience that you refer to, but I was in a different seat. A lot of expectations were thrown my direction. I ignored them. I stayed with my soul, and I was a little amazed I can put this two ways. There's a dear sister that was talking to us today and said, you know, I have compassion for that side, and I have compassion for that side. So it's the chicken and the egg. If there is no one to blame, then the only thing we can do is what we can do with the energy that's directed to us, observed by us, whether we know it or not, whether we feel it or not, whether we see it or not, our reaction, right? And so if the reaction, and we've all been there in points in our lives, the reaction is an action that doesn't bring joy at this point in the game, then I have to say it's out of alignment. And it doesn't matter the chicken and the egg, because we don't know that. One is one. So I think that's something very important. We're talking about.
I totally agree with what you're saying. It's out of alignment.
Yeah.
When you are out of alignment and you are in that distorted reality really playing out, knowing someone coming along and saying, listen, you're out of alignment, let it go, is not going to help.
No.
We can hold space for them.
Yeah.
Because we can see it for what it is, but we can in no way say to somebody, just let it go.
Yeah.
Go into your heart, because it's very real. And the reason why we're in that space and out of alignment is to find the gold in that experience. What is it that you're going to get out of it? What is it trying to show you? What is within you that is feeling this, you know? And I think there are a lot of people out there that are helping and assisting others, and they're doing a fantastic job of it. And thank you to those that are. There are also a lot of people out there that are assisting others from a state of not really understanding what it's like to be in such a distorted, out of alignment state.
Yeah.
For a lot of us, we've come from extreme realities to be where we are. And
Absolutely.
I guess by wanting to share a little bit of my story, it's because I've gotten to a place where I feel I am the hero, and I am my greatest love ever. And I'm super proud of myself for coming from that into this place where I am. And absolutely every experience that I had, from those distorted reality visits from dark energy, to the sexual abuse, to raising myself, to not having anybody to love me, nobody to turn to, and really in a state of pain for years, and days and weeks and years of crying every day, wondering why I was feeling so unloved. Where was love? I searched love absolutely everywhere outside of myself that I thought I could find it. I sought it in men. I sought it in friends. I was needy. I was attached. I didn't want to be alone, and I ended up always alone. From the minute I came in until the minute I saw the gold in all of it, it was bang.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to go through those experiences. Why I say to people, it's down deep, it's huge. You go to the bottom, you're in misery, you're in depression, you don't want to be here anymore. Those are the emotions, feelings, and things that you sit with. You let them run through. You don't understand why they're there, but as you move through them and you sit with them, they become clear. It becomes clear what's missing and what needs to be acknowledged and put into place.
Yeah. That's true. You know, who was it? I think Dr. Joe was on a couple of days ago, and he said, if it makes you uncomfortable, it's your ego. And again, I think we've all got to the point now where we realize the ego is not an enemy. It's part of us.
Absolutely.
It's probably the core of the best to our explanation anyway, the core of integrating the polarities, the ego and the
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah.
Um, and
It's designed perfectly.
yeah,
It's
and
easy. Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, and it's the math is different today than it was a month ago, and 2 months ago, and 3 months ago. The clarity is different. We've elevated, but with every elevation of the soul, we've elevated the ego too. And those things that are still ignored or hidden, I want to say hidden,
Mm.
unconscious. Because you said something, and somebody else, Nikki Hammond, said the same thing, which was once you become aware of something in this energy, the healing has begun if it's not totally even done.
Mm.
So those acknowledgments that we want others to acknowledge, which is our own expectations, maybe that's a red flag for what we have not acknowledged and attempted to heal in ourselves. And I think the other thing that this energy provides for us is that if you go into that space, and there's so many ways to do it, as simply as sitting on the bed on an afternoon, look out the window and close your eyes and say, universe, I want to know what this is making me so uncomfortable. I want
Mm.
to know what is the real cause of it, because I'm looking at the superficial in myself or in these people or whatever this events are happening, and I don't have a clue. That's really where it's at, because the days of gaining our validation from our friends and family and likes and comments and number of views are over.
Mm.
They will not stand. It is a finite existence because it is not pure purity.
Exactly. And anything that's not of purity is and will drop away.
Yeah.
There's no, I often say there's no sneaking in. We can have an intention to be of purity, pure heart, pure mind. And that's great because that cultivates more of it. But you still won't move further into the higher frequencies with just an intention. It has to be a complete state of purity in love.
Yeah.
When I freaked out the first time I went into the higher frequencies, to be honest, I think I felt so at peace and so calm with such a knowing, but it was a completely different knowing than I had experienced at other times. And it was like so much of what I identified as being within myself was not there. And I was just a completely new being. There was still the essence of me, but it was just completely different. That stillness that we were talking about before the show, Todd, the calm within the calm, or something like that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that is a constant there.
Yeah.
It's and things come into your view and they just pass by,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, okay, you can just be in that space forever, and
Yeah.
but then there's more to do in that space. We're working with creating with energy and all. I mean, we could go into
Yeah.
there's so many different things, but that the reason why we're going through what we're going through is we can't take it further until it
Yeah.
is recognized, seen, and gone. And there's a huge letting go in that. I always say I feel the vastness of just that concept of having to let go of so much that we've held on to as being part of us, our beliefs, our things that we've experienced. Even, my sharing my story, that's an experience too that I have to let go of. I share in case it assists anyone else
Yeah.
in part of their journey.
Yeah.
But it's something that I can't take with me either. It built me to a certain point, and and then I let it go.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so grateful, like I said before. And it's like a stage you go through a life review, and your whole life, as messy as it can be, just makes sense. And you're just in such awe and gratitude for every single experience that has come your way. Every person, every place, everything is such a gift.
Yeah.
It and it just arrives within you, and you're like, oh, you know,
It's,
ta-da!
yeah,
How
right.
I got here.
It's
Awesome.
it's in the living. It's not in the identity, because
Yeah.
those things that you referred to and I can refer to in my life, those things that were hurtful to my soul, or those things that you know, maybe I don't know if I regret it, but just things that trouble, woes, ills, misfortunes, those were part of our identity. Now we've worked our asses off to remove those aspects of our identity, but there's a flip side to it, you know, in the paradox. And that is those things that we identify as ourselves, such as how many people like me, how many comments do I get, how many views do I get, they have to go too. My successes, my
Yeah.
everything, it's no different. If you take you can't take one side of the seesaw away without the other side flipping up or down. You know.
Absolutely. And you
So,
spend a lot of your life working your ass off trying to defend those aspects that you only to have to let them go. So it's
yeah,
like, hang on, I've just spent all my life building this picture of who I am
yeah,
and who I believe I am up. And now I have to let it go. Are you
yeah,
kidding me? And
yeah,
that's the fighting tooth and nail. That's why sometimes we get the hardest boom, you know, it's like,
yeah.
you need to
Yeah,
get stripped back, and
that's true.
because it doesn't fly here. You got it
Mm-hmm.
upside down. And then um it's 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 an unknown, and I've never experienced such a comfort in the unknown.
Yeah,
I used to work as a psychic, a medium, a spiritual counselor, all these different things that I used to do, and I just I can't even think of something that I want to do to attach money to for income. I can't even see what I want to be next week, next month. I
yeah,
just am in a total state of, I have no idea. I don't know uh, what's going to carry me forward from here, but there's an incredible amount of it's just like, I just know that I'm going to be okay. I don't
yeah,
know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it. And, and maybe I will tomorrow, but I'm okay with right now.
yeah.
And right now, all I can do is just be me.
It's a very good point, and I think, you know, you started to initiated the conversation in regard to the energies in the heart community, like you said. I love that. A lot better than light worker. And but this is the thing, you know, it's not just going to be in the social circle front. It's going to be in our view of how we earn money, in our view of how we sit with having money in the bank or no money in the bank. In everything, every single thing we've known is gone.
Yeah.
Now we can hang on to it, and it will bring a higher and a higher level of static, one way or the other.
Yeah.
So it's on all fronts. You know, it's on all fronts. So on one hand, you can say, if I use myself as an example, I'm living out of a suitcase. I'm following this thing, going through everything everybody's went through, and all of a sudden, I find myself in this space in Kauai on an organic farm. My beloved's here. Things are moving along, and yet there's still no guarantee. You
Mm.
still have to be open. And I walked outside an hour ago to clean my car a little bit, and I was walking down the stairs, and this thought came in of what's going to happen next. And I thought, oh, that's an old program. Nothing's going to happen. This is it.
Yeah.
This is
This
it.
now.
My,
It's now.
yeah, and I don't know everybody here personally on this organic farm. I mean, I know them a little bit. And I thought, well, who's to say not that this is not my soul family?
Mm.
And then I thought, like these people, you know, and then I thought today and tomorrow, some will congeal with something more like them. I will do the same. And, you know, and the little cells of monad soul families, whatever, grow and grow and grow. I mean, it's right this moment, right now. That's what I'm saying. It's like everything has to be, everything's shucked away. And so it's that thing you were talking about. It's like trying to relax into this frequency of everything's all right. It's more than all right. It's like magical, you
Yeah.
know?
It's a constant state of just feeling totally relaxed, calm,
Yeah.
and centered, and just going with the flow. It's beautiful. That's what our training through Distortion gave us, the ability to stay in center, to stay in that space in your heart.
Yeah.
And
You
I
know,
know there's a lot of people that aren't in that space, and I can oscillate
yes.
between, like, the passion that got stirred up with me the other day. I oscillated out. Sometimes I oscillate in and out to relate to where somebody is coming from. I can remember, I can grab that feeling, that that part of the human that felt that went through that experience, that I can still access that,
Yeah.
but I won't get stuck in it,
Yeah.
if you like. I use it to relate.
And I think there's a really really strong thing starting to happen. You know, anytime anything's ever happened to us in the past, particularly women, because they would talk to each other much more than men would, but that's all changing. When anytime something traumatic or dramatic would happen, what do? We call up our sister, we call up our brother, and we start talking. Now, in the past, because of our conditioning and because of our lack of awareness, which is certainly not a judgment, it was just the road to where we're at today. Uh, we would talk about the event. We would talk about the drama. We would talk about the people. We would talk about this. We would talk about that. And it's a very righteousness oriented type of thing.
Yeah,
But now you're seeing people who pick up the phone or whatever and say, this happened. I'm feeling this. Why
that's
is it making me so uncomfortable?
yeah,
That's co creation.
yeah.
That's creating your way out. The other is still the old codependent frequency that, again, will not hold.
No, it won't, and we'll just keep getting, distortion will just keep coming up. When you're in that, I just wanted to see if I can get this out sometimes. What comes through my heart will not come through my words, but it'll come through my writing better. But, when you're in that state of not being in alignment, it's because obviously we're disempowered in that state. And you can't get into a state of alignment from disempowerment. So you can't let go of something from a state of disempowerment because you have no idea what it is that's disempowering you.
Yeah.
So you need to empower first. From that empowered state, you can then let go. You can see what you need to let go of. And some tools that I've used, and I have posted them on Facebook. And the first one is making I claim my power back, and you'll use a statement. And I've got a few there that
I saw that. I saw
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So that claims that power back. Now you're feeling more empowered from that heightened perspective. You can see I need to let go of that, and you can release it, but you can't let go before you empower. So there's a fine line between those, and I think a lot of people are struggling because they're hearing let go, but it's like, shit, what else can I let go of,
Exactly.
I don't know what else I need to let go of. you need to empower, take the power back, and then let it go.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps someone.
And then you're in that space of what the hell is there left to give up? There's nothing there, and you might be shown another 2 or 3 things. And I think we will continue to be shown more things, but that's that space that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And not the uncomfortable we're talking about, but it's just like, it's like, again, trying to relax. It's a relaxing, joyful, blissful frequency that we're still walking through life and all, but it's like trying to relax with it, trying to get used to it. Let's just say it this way: trying to trust it, learning to trust it. What does that mean? Learning to trust it, what is it? The universe? Learning to trust it, yourself, learning to trust your own frequency to sustain it. And I don't want to use the word discipline, but the willpower, free will, to not engage what we have, to not take with us what doesn't bring joy.
Exactly.
I had a dimensional experience about 7 years ago when I woke up. I went out to this, and I never had this kind of stuff happen to me. A friend of mine was talking on the phone to somebody who was having a problem, and I started seeing everything. And it was this land in East Texas. And I could see, and I had never you'd been doing this stuff for years, right? This type of stuff I never had. And I saw the history of the land, and there was a big conflict. It was former slave plantation, then sharecroppers, very much a black versus white, segregated. I saw rapes and murders and hangings and shootings, and so I ended up going over there and immediately connected with a black disincarnated soul who was stuck to the land, and also a white disincarnated soul, and they were like the 2 main ones. And I couldn't. The way it occurred, the black man, basically, we had some type of communication, or I don't know if I was a catalyst or a witness or what, but what happened was he said to me that what he learned before he took off, I guess, went into the light. He said, I thought I was having power over this man and these people, but I was actually giving my power up because it had a hold on me. And that's why I've been stuck on this land for 150 years. And then he said, I'll see you later. I'm going to go live now. So a lot of times we're so, the passion, there's a fine line. The passion falls into obsession, compulsion, and you just, it's irrational. For what we know and what we've learned and what's available in these energies, it's a good thing, because I guess the more we've seen this in the event you were talking about, the experience you were talking about, I see it as a huge gift to so many people. And I can tell by the resonance of your heart how much empathy you have for the situation, and how much it rocked you, and I think it did a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because when we all stand in different, differing perspectives of where we are in frequency. And so I think a lot of we're bumping up against each other, coming from different levels. And so especially those of us that have done, as we say, done the work, and can see from a higher perspective, need to keep that higher perspective going, and really try not to engage when it's not going to serve the whole. It needs to serve.
When in doubt, shut your mouth. When in doubt, shut your mouth.
Yeah, because what you might think that day, you might wake up tomorrow and you don't you don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
And you can't retract that because people are going to judge what
Yeah.
you said yesterday down there. So all these different levels until we're all, well, those of us that are in our heart centers most of the time, that's all we need to do. That's all we need to be.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to be. We change the entire field just by being.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to look in on a conversation. You only have to stand in a town, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your heart center, boom, everything is affected.
People over the last few years have written about, forgot what I was saying. It's a lot of energy, and it'll come back to me in a second. It was along the lines of what you were talking about.
Differing frequencies.
Oh, no, I know what it was. People have written about what, and absolutely have no use for labels, especially to this day, as the days go on. But, people talk about first waivers or whatever, the ground crew or whatever. They've talked about how there's going to come a time when the work's going to start,
It started. Yeah.
Exactly. And what I was getting on, and I think it was today again when I was outside washing the car, that the chaos is going to, the elevations are going to get louder, and the chaos is going to get louder, and it's incumbent. It's our mission, our responsibility in love and service to hold that space. And I would say to anybody, 8 billion people in this world, that anybody can choose to be that space holder.
Yes.
So there is 144 or first waivers or whatever, whether it's true or not true, doesn't even matter. We are supernatural, divine humans. We can accelerate things very, very quickly. Many of you have done that when you've woken up. And once people start doing it, it becomes easier for other people. But we can hold this space.
Yeah.
We can
That's
hold
what
this space.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all arriving. It's funny because it's like, okay, there's some of us here, and I know this is not going to make any sense, but it's how I've felt it. Some of us arrive early, but yet we all arrive at the same time.
Exactly. It's a
just,
spectrum. It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. People say they're not at this frequency, but they are. It's a spectrum. It's like a prism. So I could be standing over here and you could be standing over here, and it looks totally different, but it's all the same to the universe. We have a unique, incredible, challenging mission. We are in the home stretch. And the world that we've known will say, oh, you can just sit there, that's some new age bullshit, and hold space in your heart. Well, yeah, you know what? It's true.
exactly.
It's true.
Exactly.
So
and that's why we went through all that shit.
Yeah.
To find out the only thing that works. And that is love.
Yeah.
That is the only thing.
Yeah.
That works.
There was
it's who we are, it's why we are, it's how we are.
Yeah.
And that's why we came. And it's a super awesome time to be here. And I know that a lot of people are really not feeling that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying get out of that space. It's not where you need to be. It's totally where you need to be so that you can find the love that you are. And that love that you are is your energetic signature. And it's how you create in the high frequencies. It's how we recognize each other. Your love, the way that you found the way to your love is your unique signature.
Yeah.
And it's totally different to anyone else's.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful to feel someone else's heart and how big it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I didn't think my heart could feel any more full. And then someone enters that's in that beautiful space too. And it's like, oh, just bliss.
Yeah.
So powerful. And
Yeah,
that's how you create more love.
exactly.
Mm.
I saw this post, this sister, Ashley Simone, who's going to be on in a couple of days. I've been asking her for a while. Very cool lady. Kind of a street soul speak. You know, she talks a little urban. I love it. But I saw this post she did today, and it really reminded me of the vibration that I see Morgan, her signature. And I've actually heard her say this type of thing. And the reason I posted it was because I think, you know, there has been a lot of talk recently, and me included, about the masculine stepping into its power, the masculine energy. And it's had an effect on the feminine energy. But one of the things that I've noticed is there's a great divide in everything, is that the real divine feminine energy that was suppressed in all of us, but particularly carried by the feminine incarnation, is starting to be distinctly noticeably different than the old quote unquote divine feminine paradigm. And so this is what she said. She said, and this is to me the voice of the divine feminine that I see in so many of you. And this is that love you're talking about. She says, love is such a powerful vibration. Love heals. It heals mind, body, spirit. Love heals all wounds. True love vibrates at such a high frequency that nothing detrimental can ever enter its field. When you walk around embodying love, you will become a magnet for all that is love. Everything and everyone good for you will find you. People will heal just by being in your presence. Mark my words. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I like that boldness, but I think that's a part of what's happening too. And I think because that love of the divine feminine is so pure, that might be a big part of what we're all trying to get used to.
Yeah.
Because it's not going away. We all went through the inequalities, the injustices in our own way, in our own time, in our own experience. But
Yeah.
her frequency, the creation frequency, is I don't want to say so foreign to us, because it's been with us in these extreme moments of emotion and that type of thing. But it is here to stay, and it has been brought in and expanding its presence, and it's good to see that happening. It really is.
Yeah. It comes from the support of the divine masculine, just side by side.
Yeah.
And in that environment, love just flourishes.
Yeah.
You know, our ability to create and bring that forth through our sacred womb, through our heart, it expands out from the support of the divine masculine.
Yeah.
You know, and it's beautiful. I see so many divine masculine stepping forward and supporting not only myself but others, and it's such a freeing relief. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I think another thing that I noticed too that's coming into play more is telepathy becomes more obvious, or more available. Is those, and this would apply to me and apply to everybody, but those who, it's like, well, like that what she just wrote. She's not saying I'm a divine feminine, I'm a divine being. She's just saying this is love, and I guess in a sense saying I am love.
yeah,
But the true divine human, regard whatever gender it may be, doesn't have to explain what it is.
yeah,
It doesn't have to. So we're moving out of maybe a phase or whatever, an era that was part of that may have been to the yogi guru part, codependency, whatever you want to call it, but where we can recognize in ourselves that the words that we speak are the best communication we'll get from the universe if we'll just listen to what we're saying, although we might be directing it at somebody else. I mean, it's okay to still be in old patterns. It's okay to wake up and make a mistake. It's okay to feel bad. We have the power now to transform this energy immediately.
Yep. Certainly do.
Because what is heart but desire? What is heart? I mean, for me, what is heart but desire? The desire, I mean, it fills you. We have the desire to change and transform and expand and elevate and create something beyond the original blueprint in service to the universe and our brothers and sisters. We can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's magnetic.
That it is.
So you're doing okay on a personal level? Everything's going?
Yeah. Same as you. Just, just everything comes my way. And some moments I think, ooh, I wonder if the bubble will burst, and then I catch myself thinking that.
I'm with you. I'm with you there.
And it's like, oh, crap. And it's only halfway through the sentence that I'll catch it. And then it's so easy to get back into alignment. So, yeah, I'm just blissing out, just doing what I love to do, creating, writing music, gardening, cooking, and just being whatever I want to do, lay down and do whatever. Even if it's doing the dishes, whatever, doing something I wouldn't usually enjoy. It's just like, I've never seen this cup before with this, washing the dishes. Just it's totally tripped out all the time. It's awesome. And with those moments every now and then that come from nowhere, but it's so easy to get back into that beautiful space.
It is. So you've been writing music. Do you have any music you want to share?
Yeah, I'm not going to share it with you today, but I'm something that I do want to share. I almost finished it yesterday, so it would have been good timing to launch it today.
Is there anything? Yeah, don't rush. I mean, I'll be glad. And we absolutely support you if we can help you in any way and expanding the awareness of it. Is there anything you would like to share? Anything else you'd like to say? Blessings. I'm not sure what all your attributes are. Light language, toning.
I know. I do all of those things, light language, and and I probably won't share them because only today that I feel guided not to share that today. I don't want to. I feel that it's just enough to come from this heart space. I don't want to put myself into being anything that somebody else can't do or feel not worthy of, or do you know what I mean? I totally get
what you're saying. Yeah, I really do. And
I just want everyone to feel the love that they are, and I wish everybody such blessings and love from my heart.
Yeah.
And no matter where you are, there is people that are here to hold hands with you and help you along the journey. You're never alone. And
co-create.
Yeah, there's so much love.
Yeah. Thank you, Yvania.
Thank
you for coming on short notice. Look forward to hearing your new song and anything else you come out with. Let me know if I can do anything for you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. See you later. Peace out. Bye-bye.